Hi, and welcome to Restore 2022. Today we're in Luke 14. So Jesus is having a meal at a ruler of a Pharisee's home. There's Pharisees there, rulers of the law. It's a Sabbath where Jesus heals a man with dropsy. And this was Jesus' third and final Sabbath healing. He tells a story to the host, which no doubt would have made him and all the guests there very uncomfortable. The great banquet refers to the arrival of the kingdom of God in Jesus' ministry. Verse 15, someone says, "Blessed is everyone who eats in the kingdom of God." This seems to be a popular phrase at the time, probably used here to try and lighten the uncomfortable things that Jesus was saying. It would have been understood to mean a future messianic banquet where only godly Jews would have been invited. However, Jesus uses this story to show that the original people invited will miss out and be replaced by the poor, crippled, lame, and even by outsiders. Those that live by the highways and the hedges are outside the city, and these represent Gentiles. The kingdom will be filled, but not necessarily by those who were originally invited. So 2 invitations would have been sent for this banquet. The first one would have been well in advance. The second invitation would have been given on the day of the banquet, announcing that the time of the banquet had come and everything was ready. It's verse 17. So this wasn't sprung on the guests last minute. They knew it was happening and had accepted the invitation at the time. However, they begin to make excuses. Jesus uses this story to show that those who put their ordinary business of daily life ahead of the claims of God and his kingdom are therefore not worthy to enter it. Jesus immediately then starts talking about the cost of discipleship. If anyone comes to me, meaning those who would be Christ's disciples, must, and I'm going to talk about 3 things here. 1, love their family less than they love Christ. That's verse 26. I know he uses the word hate. I'm going to come back to that. 2, bear the cross and follow Christ, which is verse 27. And 3, give up everything, verse 33. These describe complete commitment to Jesus. The first, so we may really balk at the word hate here, but in fact, this was a common Semitic expression used, which simply means to love less. It's the same expression used when Jacob is referring to loving Leah less than Rachel in Genesis 29:30-31. And in Matthew 10:37, it is recorded simply, "Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and whoever loves their son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me." This is still really radical thinking at the time, where in Jewish society, honouring parents was incredibly important and family meant everything. The second, take up his cross. The crucifixion would have been a shocking metaphor to describe discipleship. Remember, they would not have any association with the cross and Jesus at this moment. So to describe that they must be willing to die a gruesome and humiliating death in order to follow him would have been horrific. A condemned criminal would have carried his cross. So Jesus is trying to explain how he requires complete devotion. A follower of Jesus must be willing to die to self, not necessarily meaning he must die on a cross, but meaning die to our own self-will and embrace God's will, no matter the cost. It doesn't mean you go out purposely to humiliate yourself for Christ or chasing martyrdom, though of course this is exactly what it meant to many of the early Christians and to many Christians still today. It means self-denial, letting go of self-determination and replacing it with obedience to and dependence on Jesus. And the third one, the cost of discipleship, includes following Jesus and confessing him courageously. In the calling of the disciples, we hear many times that they left everything and followed him. We must be prepared to leave worldly things behind, to really count the cost of what it would mean to follow Jesus.